Hey, what's up everyone? I'm back here again, goal hanging, and this time it's a bumper edition. I've got Scott, Michelle and Mike goal hanging with me today.
3 times.
And what we're going to do, we're going to go through the 2019-20 kits. Mainly for the Premier League teams, but we'll touch on some other kits as well towards the end. So obviously, kits are a big part of all of our clubs. You know, we're always excited when this time of year comes around to see what we're going to waste our money on next season. As you can see, I've already wasted my money on the new Man United shirt.
It's nice, we'll get into that.
I'm sure, the guys have got they've all got their shirts.
Yeah, I like this one, man.
From different
teams.
teams.
That's really nice.
Yeah. Lovely sky blue.
Thames Ironwork inspired.
Very nice, very nice. And obviously a classic
night kit. Yeah. One of my children's specials. That's right. I still buy children's shirts.
And thankfully, you can only see the front of that shirt.
I won't tell you what's on the back of it.
Yeah, it's getting me a bit upset.
The Man United legend on the back.
Stop nicking our legends for your own.
Yeah, and mine is just inspired by retro Umbro shirts. It's not really a particular team. They did a line where you can get different colours.
Nice.
You know, like a black, red and yellow one. It's Belgium sort of thing. So this is meant to be the England style, but yeah, I'm a big kit lover. So kit culture is getting big these days, I feel.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, a lot of throwback styles, which I'm sure we're going to see as well.
We'll touch on some of that during the episode, but you know, before we can start an episode, we need to hydrate, guys.
I've already jumped in.
Eager beaver.
Let's get our drinks.
Let's go. I'm looking for that bonus beer this week. You know, when I gave it out, I was quite jealous, man.
It's Michelle's last chance this season to earn one.
I haven't earned any.
Just
give me this one, guys. Come on.
Okay, we'll see.
You've not had the Man City run, the easy run to the front.
Yeah.
All right, so as most Premier League things do, it will go alphabetically, so it's the first time you're going to hear Arsenal mentioned first in any kind of table this season.
Excuse me, but before the kick-off, we'll always be top, all right?
Unless they go for AFC Bournemouth.
Always got to rain on my parade.
So we're going to go for the Arsenal kits, which are actually the first in many years made by Adidas. The other team that are also getting new kit makers this season are Manchester City, that are going with Puma.
Wonder what their Manchester kit is going to look like.
Probably going to be sky blue. But yeah, so anyway, we've got the Arsenal kits, which are
modelled by the lovely Lacazette and Aubameyang.
Inspired by 1986, which
is a bold place to go. Most people would think you'd go 30 years since Anfield 89. I mean, the end of the season would be 31. But I didn't expect it to be an 86 inspired home kit. But
the away one, I think a lot of people would have said like they like it because of the style of it. But the home. I think the home. I was surprised how good the home was.
I'll be really honest with you. I have my reservations about Adidas kits because I've got a real thing about the stripes being all the way down the side. It just screams 90s teenager to me, because I wore them. So I'm a bit funny, and I like the fact that they've got the stripes just at the top. It's not too ostentatious, but it's still quite kind of classic Adidas. Yeah. I really, really like the home strip. I really like it.
And I think it's classic Arsenal, really, isn't it? Yeah. Like the bold red with the white sleeves, and I think that's the whole, as you were saying, like the whole Adidas thing. It's like it could have not essentially ruined the shirt, but you know, the fact that the shoulder parts are white, then what would you have done with a sleeve? Would you have had to go like red down the sleeve?
I like the way they've done it.
It'd be interesting to see what they do next year as well, like, because like you say, there's only so many places you can go with the stripes. Yeah. They did it well, like obviously when Adidas were with Arsenal back in the day, like late 80s, early 90s. But since then, Adidas's kits have changed. Like Adidas are pretty much like a few years ago, the template was like the Liverpool kit, the Chelsea kit, they all pretty much look like the long stripes. And I think it can work, but with the white sleeves, I'm not sure how it will. And I'm a big traditionalist when it comes to Arsenal and the white sleeves. I don't like too much white. I don't like too little light. White has to be like perfect amount. For me, this kit is the perfect amount.
You must have hated red currant then.
I like the red currant.
Arsenal's first kit was a red currant kit as well. So that's even more traditional. So I love that.
I suppose as well what it represented was that the last season at Highbury.
Exactly, yeah. And when we moved to Highbury, we were in that colour. So like that's kind of what they were going for. But
big fan of the new Adidas.
Honestly, I think it's a really, really nice kit. And
I like the away
the
as
home
well.
one, and as you mentioned, the away one, and it's probably inspired by what a lot of people will say is the most famous Arsenal away shirt, the famous
Infamous,
bruised banana.
Yeah. And we were saying off air, like I remember a few years ago, it was in all the polls for like one of the worst kits ever. But now there's such a resurgence in like 90s kind of wacky style that because I used to feel like I was on my own, like one of the few that go, I like that kit. Like I think it's a bit loud, but I do like it. But now, like since the Nigeria kit in the World Cup, I think people are open to that style. So like this is a lot more toned down than I thought it would be when people were like rumours about the bruised banana. But I like it. Some people are saying it's not bruised enough, is what they've said. But
do you know what I like? What they haven't done is they've kept the badge red, whereas sometimes in previous kits, particularly Puma, they did the colour change. And I was always a bit mixed on that, but I do like it. The only downside for me is it's yellow, and I look terrible in yellow, so I'll be buying the home kit again this year.
I love the yellow kits. I'm glad we're back having a away kit as yellow. And for me, the third one's the one you play around with. I loved the black one we had a few years ago, the black and pink. But I'd love to see a just red, yellow, and then blue for the third kit.
But then you've got to think what you're going to go with goalkeeper kit wise as well, because I think that sometimes, to me, that like is what can sometimes make a team as well. It's like when you go in traditional, like I know historically, like as a Man United fan, our tradition has always been a green goalkeeper shirt with the red player shirts, and we'll touch on
I love that the green goal
a little bit later, but I think green for a goalkeeper is probably good. And
I miss when they wore flat caps as well. When they bring them back,
Should we just bring back tracksuit bottoms?
Yeah,
as well,
Shaka Hislop.
Gabor Kirai, proper Gabor Kirai style, with the grey Primark finest tracksuit bottoms. So I mean, and it looks like away wise, Arsenal are going with a blue, which again is a navy is kind of another historically traditional Arsenal away colour. I remember the famous JVC one back in, was it 95, 96 that you guys had?
Bolts.
Yeah, I love that kit.
That was honest. That was
the first few night kits are.
That was one of my first memories of football. Was that season essentially? And
the Premier League sticker books.
Exactly, and I remember
they're bringing them back for the 1920 season. They are. Yeah, there you go.
And I think and as you said, it's nice because I think Arsenal, was it the one this season when they changed the badge? Was it to the fluorescent badge? Was it?
That was it was not last season. The season before, it was the navy and yellow on the third kit with the fluorescent badge, because I wore it on one episode. Yeah, and what was
it the one this season? Was it the turquoise one, and they had like a blue badge or something?
Yeah,
and it's like it's as you said, like that just looks, it's classic because it makes the badge pop
strong.
I think it makes the badge pop more, especially with it's like a darker kit. And
I like those styles, like the kind of outline in a different colour. If it's a training kit, I think they look. It still looks nice, but I think you're right. Like I think with a main kit, your colours need to be like your exact colours. Your real colours need to be shown.
So at time of recording, we don't actually know some of the kits. We can only comment obviously on the kits that we've actually seen. The first one that we've not actually seen is the Aston Villa shirt, which is going to be the shirt that they're wearing on their return to the top flight of English football. And by the power of editing, it should appear on the screen now. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to give you our thoughts on this kit, and it's going to be just recorded over the top of...
It's going to be, I imagine our mind is going to come out to you guys, so what we're thinking is... so the Villa kit, guys, what do you think?
Villa's home shirt, I think, it's a really nice Kappa design. Not overly keen on the sponsor.
Classic Aston Villa, really, really good to see they've stuck to their standard colours, but it feels a little bit like it could do with a trim or something. Just feels a bit blank, like there's something missing, but standard.
Quite a simple design, you can keep them with their classic sort of claret and blue colours with the blue sleeves, obviously. No, I really like it. I really like the sort of more simple designs rather than the sort of more, out there shirts with crazy patterns and stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
This one's alright. It's just a bit plain. I'm not too fond of the giant sponsor, especially on the sleeve. It is not nice. I don't mind it being Kappa, but I think it's a bit too plain compared to last year when you had the local Birmingham outfit doing it in Luke. Fans of the club as well, which was a real nice thing to see. Obviously going up to the Premier League, things were probably going to change, even though they've stayed on board in some way. But I think their classic looking design was just a little bit better.
As for Villa's away shirt, It's got a bit of a strange pattern to it with the white diagonal lines going through it, but I really do think it looks quite crisp and sharp, and the fact that they've actually gone with the claret sponsor as well, I think it just adds another dimension to it, and I think it's actually quite nice.
Well, with Villa, they've just gone and reversed their colours, same that they do most years. Nice to see the Kappa logo is quite prominent. That's quite old school. I'm quite enjoying that. But, a nice standard simple kit from them for their away.
I think it looks really nice. I think the blue looks great. Even the pattern on it isn't too sort of outlandish. It's quite subtle. No, I think it looks really cool. I think Villa have done well this year with their kits.
This one's quite alright, really. The colours work a bit better here. The front sponsor actually matches the rest of the kit, and also you might not notice it on first glance, but I like how the lines kind of fade in and out at the top and the bottom. It's quite nice, actually. It's quite unique. So yeah, it's not too bad.
So yeah, we're moving on now to Bournemouth with the traditional red and black stripes that they have, and
shades of AC Milan.
I was going to say AC
Milan.
Yeah, I like
AFC Bournemouth,
yeah.
AC Milan, Eddie Howe's men. Looks like they've got like a little bit of like a horizontal like pattern kind of thing going through the red as well,
darker sleeves as well,
which is quite nice. Yeah, slightly darker colour on the sleeves, and the logo. Sometimes I think the logos ruin the kits, but I think with this logo, at least where it's the same colour as the kit.
Yeah, and you've got the stripes in the badge as well.
Yeah, it doesn't
as well. It's like everything, like the logo, the umbro, the badge. All of it goes really well.
And I think it's nice the way that they've gone back to like the traditional umbro thing with the writing underneath as well. I think Nike are doing the same.
Yeah. I love that. Like, I'm not massive on Nike, but like I like the classic Nike with the big Nike. Same as Adidas. I love the the tricot logo.
Yeah,
the original logo.
Flowery one, isn't it?
I like the normal one too, but the original is by far classic. But,
it's gonna be like, when are they going back to being the king as well though?
But yeah, I quite like this kit. It's quite nice.
Yeah, it's very similar to what I normally have, but I think they've always had nice kits since they've been in the Premier League.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Yeah,
I like Bournemouth. They're a good team.
Yeah.
Good team. And even that badge is very MLS looking, but I still think it's alright.
No, I've got a soft spot for Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then I suppose with the goalkeeper shirt, they're going with a yellow, and it's like yellow and purple. Essentially, I think we actually saw it in the last game of last season, the last home game. They wore it, and I think that to me that's one of the Umbro stock designs. So I think you'll probably see that throughout the Umbro teams that are wearing Umbro. So like West Ham,
goalkeeper,
any other teams that are wearing like international teams, and
interesting to see a big Umbro resurgence. They were big in the 90s for kits, and they seem to drop off. That's being modelled by Scotty, but they seem to drop off in favour of kind of your Nikes and
I think
Adidas's, Puma.
I think we've just signed it's like a new 3-year deal. I think with Umbro now.
I think what a lot of it is when Sports Direct start getting stuff that's quite big.
Yeah.
Like then everyone starts buying it. It becomes mainstream, and people are don't really want to wear that because.
Oh yeah, like Lonsdale became one of those brands.
Yeah, Lonsdale, because I know Blackburn had that in the Premier League.
Yeah, it looks like it starts to feel like a tacky brand.
Yeah,
but, and I think Umbro did suffer from that. Like when England moved and it was helped by England's first night kit being beautiful. It looked more like a Germany kit with the 150th anniversary of the FA. I really like that kit.
That was great.
And I was just like, done with Umbro and all that. But like when you look at Umbro's kits from the 90s and even the early 2000s for the England, they're beautiful. So. Like you're saying, like I like seeing Premier League clubs, and I think it suits a club like West Ham. We'll get into West Ham in a bit, but
so with the Bournemouth away shirt, it's navy blue and it looks like it's got pink trim. I'm hoping that they're wearing navy blue shorts with it, because if they wear pink shorts with it, it could be, some would say worse, but although it would go, I think navy shorts would complement it better. But yeah, it's not terrible. I don't see why a team that's colours are predominantly red and black would have a dark away kit. It would make more sense for them to have a light away kit.
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, we talked about badge colours and stuff being changed over to the kit colour. It looks a little bit like, it looks a bit Spursy. Not a fan, sorry.
Not as big a fan of this one as I was their last away kit from last season. I think this one looks more like a training shirt. I mean, it may look a bit different with the whole kit, because I've got the shirt in front of me at the moment, but it's not really a big fan of that sort of really dark navy blue. I think the design's a bit dull as well. So. Yeah, not a huge fan of this one.
I quite like this. I like the blue. It's quite a nice shade of blue. Really dark, but it works really well. And the pattern on the sleeves is quite nice. But I'm really not a fan of the pink, especially being such a hot pink on the neck and on the sides. but it's an alright kit.
So with Brighton's ones, I think we actually saw them wear it in the last game of the season as well.
That's a bit a controversial thing, isn't it? Because you're literally going, forget about the old one.
I don't like when clubs do that.
Yeah. Well, Juve have been wearing their new kit for the last few games.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, and I like it because it's like the home shirt has got like a lighter and darker blue incorporated in the stripe.
It's a very nice kit. I think the gold on
the goalkeeper shirt is literally Chelsea's goalkeeper shirt from last season.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I quite like the way they've integrated the sponsor on the home shirt.
Yeah.
Actually,
Me too. Yeah.
It blends in really well, doesn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. Only thing, maybe not keen on the neckline.
Yeah, I think it was like a collar or something. It looks a bit better.
Arsenal had that weird sort of not quite V-neck,
Yeah.
weird hexagonal type neckline a few years ago.
Although that away one is very plain, I think it's really nice.
Yeah, I like sort of black kits. Like, I think
Yeah.
they always look quite smart.
So the shirt that they used as their away shirt for this season is their third kit for next season as well.
Oh, like the yellow and...
No, the green.
of course it was, yeah. Of course it was.
Arsenal did that a few years ago. Do you remember the one with the yellow with the burgundy pinstripes? And they had the 125th anniversary badge on it, and then the next year or the year before was just a regular badge. So same sort of thing. They took the same design, but they, which is a daring move in this day and age when you've got a money maker right there by adding the third shirt. But some teams ain't really, not being harsh to Brighton, but the bigger teams are usually the ones that have the third shirt.
Yeah.
So
It's like with Watford, I think it was last year when they actually released it and just like sent it out to fans straight away. The green one, They had like Troy Deeney essentially.
Or was this the people that went to all the away games? All
that was a good idea. That I like that, especially to launch an away kit. That was a very clever way to do it.
And Burnley.
Yeah, very plain, but
it's like a copy and paste kind of thing. It's
Pretty
like,
much.
It's Umbro, it's claret shirts, it's blue sleeves, and
collar as well. You got
to be fair, it's an absolute hideous logo.
Yeah, the sponsor's too big.
The sponsor is far too big, and it's like we've said historically, like sometimes sponsors can ruin a shirt.
Yeah, you got to be careful with them.
And I mean, we're going to touch on it later, but I really like what West Ham are doing with, they're releasing the kit that's got the Betway logo on it, but then they're also releasing a plain version, which they're calling the under 18 shirt.
It's basically if you buy like a extra large kids t-shirt, basically it's the same size as like a men's medium, I think, or like women's as well.
So what is it because it's a betting company?
Yes, you can't have any bet reference to gambling on a kids t-shirt.
No, it's always been the way with teams with betting sponsors on them.
Yeah, because we've had Betway for the past few seasons, and I think like with Bet365 and like any other sort of
it's cool to have the option, isn't it?
Yeah. So now the adults have the choice.
Yeah, a lot more teams are sponsored by betting companies.
Honestly, I think you'll find probably a lot more people probably buy unsponsored.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say they want to because it does look better without the sponsor.
So that's obviously Burnley, and obviously sky blue collar, classic for them really. Burnley away. Yes, it's quite nice. It's very similar to Villa's really. I don't know what it is with all the teams wearing claret and blue that they like to have like the light blue away shirts as well. So yes, it's not bad. It's not my cup of tea, but yeah, nice shirt.
On first glance, looks like, because of the pattern, it looks like it's cheap shiny material. Then you realise it's like a zigzaggy pattern and quite nice and retro-y, but I'm not convinced. It's not as classic as like the Villa away kit and so on in terms of how they reverse the colours.
I think it looks all right. I'm not too sure about the sort of pattern on the main body of the shirt, sort of at the top. But in terms of colour, it's a decent colour and a nice simple design. But yeah, maybe I need to see with the rest of the sort of the shorts and socks as well, because it's just a bit. It's all right. It's not the best. It's not the worst kit I've seen. So somewhere in the middle.
Right. So I didn't expect to say this, but a Burnley kit is actually one of my favourites from this year. I think the design on the front is really, really nice. The blues mix in quite well. Still don't really like the giant sponsor, but at least the colours match here. It looks really nice. Probably, one of my favourites from this year, actually.
We then move on to quite possibly the most controversial kit of the season.
You can't confuse the most controversial with hideous.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I like it.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm that
guy. Being described as rush blue, apparently.
Yeah.
It's inspired by Stamford Bridge, or unless you refer to Stamford Bridge as literally something
a heap of scrap metal.
But I like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And I like a kind of what do you call it? Those kind of like patterned shirts that are kind of like offset on a different colour, like you know, the darker blue inside the blue, on top of the blue. I think it's a bit too much for me.
It's butters.
I think if you're definitely going to have a stadium on a shirt, then you need to look at the Man United 96 shirt where they had like it was red with like the Old Trafford thing, just like a slightly darker tone on it.
Yeah, that's kind of what
I thought that was nice, but that looks nothing like Stamford Bridge.
No, yeah.
I don't look at that.
That looks like you've just given enough dark blue paintbrushes and just said, there you go, paint this rush blue.
The thing is, if you could, there's ways of paying tribute to your stadium and whatnot, but just being a bit more subtle about it. That
Try
it just
filling
looks,
it.
Like when West Ham have the castle, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, but even like
the away shirt looks.
away one's nice. It's nice and plain.
The away one's plain.
It's subtle. It's not there's not too much going on. But the blue one, it just smacks.
It is a bit too loud. But even the previous year, like the little red and the white lines, they were a bit out there for Chelsea.
Yeah,
they're changing the kits a bit.
Just smacks of Nike trying to.
And they're adding a bit more red in as well. So, but I mean, I do quite like it. I think the thing where it suffers, the whole Stamford Bridge, it doesn't look like that sort of thing, is because and maybe Chelsea fans would disagree, but I don't think Stamford Bridge is an iconic looking stadium because it's just constantly being built on.
It's not like Wembley or the Emirates or
like,
even
the old
new
Wembley
Tottenham Stadium, which has a really specific.
If an England team had the Twin Towers or even the Arch, or an Arsenal kit had the clock, you know, or something like that. Yeah. There's no like iconic thing where I'm like,
it's a bit of a mishmash of where they built different bits onto the bridge, so it's just sort of there.
I think it's probably they're just putting on all the material that they used to actually build the stadium. Probably.
I like their third kit. I do like their third kit.
The third kit, as you say, that's like the retro stuff. I think
it does look very retro.
It's got a little touch on like the PSG one from this season. The third one where they had like the Air Jordan one.
Yeah.
It looks to me a little bit like a Man United away shirt from a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I think we had that kind of colour where it's like the black with...
That's a very Man United looking kit when you say that, actually.
So it's black... Oh, the only difference with this one, obviously, is orange and white rather than like red and white.
I like the banding, though.
I think it does look quite nice.
Really nicely,
and I like the way that they've gone with the white logo rather than like the coloured... Like,
and here, even the badge... Like we were saying earlier, we like the full colours, but here it wouldn't look good. The blue badge wouldn't look good.
It would.
So I suppose it all depends really on the kit, and they're releasing like a separate cut kit as well, a full kit.
Wow.
So it's similar to what Borussia Dortmund did, and it looks like it's just going to be plain blue. And then you go for the goalkeeper shirt, which looks like just a Nike a Nike.
Someone's beat up a tangerine.
It's essentially based on the Nike goalkeeper template, which
in some colours
most likely that's probably going to be exactly the same as what the England goalkeeper shirt's going to look like, but just with an England badge instead of a Chelsea badge and no Yokohama or Hyundai on it. But saying it's yellow, to me it looks more orange, but you know, depends how often are we going to see Kepa refuse to come off in it next season.
At least twice.
So then we go on to the Crystal Palace shirt.
I'm not sure about the length of the sleeves. They're just a little too long and fitted, aren't they?
I suppose it depends really, because to me it does look kind of like a bit of a women's shirt. It's like when you look at it
really comes in at the way.
When you look at it on the players, though, it might not
looks
look
good on
too
the players.
bad.
I
mean,
I like the
you can see on mine like the sleeves are a little bit.
The white tips look nice. I think I've always quite liked Palace kits. But I think their logos, the sponsorship logo, is too loud on this.
It looks like they've got McDonald's. It looks like a McDonald's.
It does look like a McDonald's logo, but I just don't understand. I don't know, like
that.
The white bits look a bit too much as well. Like you're either going to make it look like a pinstripe, or you're going to do like Chelsea did those slight kind of little sharp things. It goes on too far. Like at the top they're short, but at the bottom they go on too long. Like why are you going to cut it off for about that much? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
So I think it's a bit too much, which is a shame because I do usually like Palace kits. Their badge is wicked, like, and it goes with the kit really well. Weirdly enough, they used to wear claret and blue, which is weird. Like that they completely changed their whole colour, their colourway, years ago. But
they said it's the first time as well that that white's been used on their kit in 10 years.
Yeah, I bet they stopped that, eh? No, apart from the trim is fine, but that bit is too much. It hasn't been executed well enough, in my opinion.
And I think they're using the white on the blue, which makes that pop a little bit more too.
It looks like, have you ever seen like a t-shirt when they like a sublimation print was all over, and like maybe on a part where it's stitched like the shoulder or something, there's like a little bit that hasn't got the print on.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. It looks like it's been printed with a crease and they've opened it up. No, I don't like it. That part anyway.
Palace away shirt I actually do quite like. Actually, the red and black down the front actually do like add quite a lot to it. It's actually quite a smart design. Not a massive fan, as I've said before, of the sponsor, but hey ho, is what it is.
Palace's away kit's all right. Again, like some of the others, they've integrated their home kit colours into it. I really like that wiggly thing down the middle. I quite like it. Yeah, not too bad from Puma. Well done.
Yeah, I really like this one. Black. I really like the black with the red and the blue, sort of either side on the shoulders and in the middle. Just a really classy kit from Palace. I think for a team that I don't really usually like their kits that much, but I think this away one is really, really nice.
Every time I look at this shirt, I feel like I have a different opinion on it. I like the colours and the strange pattern on the front, but I don't know, it feels like there's something missing. It is a nice kit though.
The next shirt, really, that we've not seen yet is the Everton shirt. I'm guessing it's going to be blue.
Yeah, usually blue.
I'm guessing it's going to have Angry Birds on it, and it's going to have an Everton badge on it. That's all we can be certain of.
Classic.
But I think what we should do, Dan, is put our minds to the test again and project to the viewer what we think about those again.
Let's see.
By the power of the Force.
So the Everton kit, eh?
So the Everton home shirt, it's a smart shirt. It's got the weird like different coloured blue like marks at the top of it. It's kind of strange, but yeah, it's actually quite nice. I like it. Apart from like the Angry Birds on the sleeves, I always do find quite funny with them though.
Everton stuck with their normal colours, quite simple. I don't know how I feel about that pattern on top. I do like a weird 90s style pattern, but I'm not completely sold on it.
Not a huge fan of it. I think the patterns on the sort of main body of it don't look great, and obviously you got the Angry Birds logo on the sleeves, which is always never going to look good. So not a huge fan of the Everton home shirt this year. I think they've had a lot better in the past.
I'm not too sure about this design. I think I like the pattern, but then again, that's probably not a good sign. But the deep rich blue, as always, looks quite nice on this kit. As always, though, Angry Birds, just, what can you say?
No, it might be nice.
Everton away shirt. I mean, from the pictures, I'm trying to decipher whether it's meant to be like an orange colour or a pinky colour. It's got like a salmony feel to it. But, I think it works quite well. Everton do normally have quite a bright away shirt. It does kind of look a bit like an old school kind of shirt, one of those like old ones that you'd buy in like a sports shop when you were younger. It's quite nice.
Just what were they thinking? It's horrendous.
Not a huge on it. I think the colour's really quite grim. I don't really see what it has to do with Everton. Like, I associate that colour with Everton. If anything, it's a bit more close to Liverpool, which I'm sure the fans won't really appreciate. But yeah, I've never been a really big fan of those sort of steward orange colours. So yeah, it's not great.
So I really do like the design. I'm just not sure about the colours. A bit sickly looking to me, but I like the striped gradient look they're going for in the middle. It is quite nice if maybe they tried it with a different colour.
So the next one we go to is
Leicester
City.
I quite like this.
I really like this one.
I do like a good checkerboard design.
I don't feel like it works because of the gold.
I just think, I think the blue and gold works. It's quite nice for Leicester, I think, especially since they won the
Premier League.
Well, the league and have the gold thing there. I think it's just a nice omen to that season.
I think the fox and the badge is leaning towards a gold. It's not like a big
enough. I like that the checkers thing is like quite subtle as well. It's quite faded on there, so it's not.
I do like that.
Standing out
I do
so
like.
much,
I'm just not sure it works with the gold.
Should I tell you what I'm not sure about it working out with? The Adidas stripes at the top. Now I know I said I liked it on the Arsenal kit, but having that works because the Arsenal kit's plain. Having a checkable design here and three stripes here is a bit doesn't sit well with me, but that's because I'm.
You know what I'd like to see when I was like the away Arsenal Adidas is like in 93, 94 when they had the block instead, or like even the home kit that had that. Like, because you've got to have the stripes, but an alternative around it would be something else quite big, like recognisable as far as Adidas. So like big blocks or something like that would be better, I think, for times like this where it's like it just doesn't go well with the squares.
Yeah.
The away kit.
I mean, in a change of tradition, Leicester they've not released an away kit and a third kit as such. They're actually branding them as 2 away kits.
Right.
So,
2 away kits,
yeah.
Is this basically to see which one sells better?
Yeah, and I suppose as well, if there's going to be a kit clash with anyone wearing bright pink.
Yeah, because...
but that's all the third is. I mean, they're not even traditionally supposed to be called home and away. They're just called change kits.
Kits,
you know, so like... They don't need to be like, this is not a third, it's a second away. Like, that is a third. Like, just pick one. But then again, even Arsenal last year, we wore our third loads, you know, like
that awful turquoise one.
Turquoise,
with this shirt, I actually saw this shirt without any of the Leicester stuff on the Adidas website.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it was like 20. I think it was only like 20 quid or something on the Adidas website, and then you've stuck essentially a Leicester badge,
it
King
is a
Power logo.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And most of them are, but because it's an iconic template from the German squad,
that's the thing.
I think it makes people go, "Oh, cheap knockoff." I think it's quite a nice thing. Like, I don't think it's that bad of a kit, but I think because you look at it and you go, "That's Germany." Oh, pink. Are they doing pink?
I don't like where the King Power logo is. I think it needs to come down so it's not over.
And maybe a bit smaller.
Yeah.
So like have the KI and N just underneath the final.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
I think it's also weird. It's just weird. Leicester playing as their away strip in like a pink strip. Like I always look at their away colours as either black or white. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like the third kit, for example.
Or they had like a yellow. They had a yellow kit as well.
Who did the pink?
A few years back as
well.
We had it last year.
I think they did, yeah. And that was awful.
Everton had a pink away kit a few years back, and it was horrible.
See, then this is
that's much better.
But they call this
even
one
the colour,
dark
really nice.
grey and white, and that's.
So I guess it's more like a charcoal.
That just looks classic. Like you don't. There's no Adidas like stripes on the sleeve. They must just be.
Yeah, so you clearly got around. Yeah.
It's essentially like the Man United shirt that I'm wearing. Like there's no Adidas stripe on the actual thing. It's all red. It matches in with a kit. And
have you got the same colour? No, a different colour.
And then going on to the goalkeeper kit, it's essentially the same. It's Adidas's standard template for the season, and they've just released a black version of the same shirt that Manchester United are going to be wearing, which
it's not bad though.
It's perfect.
Yeah,
it's
right.
It's really nice.
I guess when it comes to templates, you don't want to spend too much time on them.
Exactly. And you know, if they're actually quite nice shirts. I actually do quite like the goalkeeper shirts, and you know, Kasper Schmeichel, you know, he's going to be probably seen to have quite a lot of action in it, so we'll get to see goalkeeper shirt quite a lot.
Yeah.
Liverpool. Now, this one will probably divide opinions.
Yeah.
It's obviously the white pinstripes, and then the yellow or gold whatever it is. So the gold Liver Bird badge, the New Balance logo, and the Western Union logo. Whereas the main sponsor is white. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do the kit supplier and the badge one colour, just have the logo the same colour as well.
It's just a bit dull as well, I think.
Yeah, I actually see a lot of people bigging this one up, and I don't like it.
I know there's only so much you can do with like.
That lets it down.
Well, I know you can only do so much with red and white, but it's just like I've seen some Liverpool kits in the past that have been quite smart.
Yeah, like last year's, the year before that, I think it was really nice.
Yeah,
like the dark
with the
red
white collar and stuff.
Suits really well. Yeah, like
the one with Gerrard's last season. That was like the Warrior one.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
But I just don't. I think the pinstripes look rubbish. I think they end stupidly. It's like it's literally like someone's put a template on it, and it's like either keep going or like fade them out or something. Like it just doesn't look right. It just you've got like an invisible barrier, and I don't like that.
I think it's alright.
It's like you say.
This is your Chelsea kit, like for me. Like.
It's like you say, like it's essentially like somebody has got like a rectangular logo, and you can't put it up anymore on the shirt.
I'm trying to move something on a Word document. Yeah.
Essentially.
You're thinking of creating a wrestler on SmackDown, aren't you? Like when you
I am.
Go past that ball.
And to be fair, you've seen how terrible some of mine came out in the past. And you know what? Their away shirt is actually just really like standard. And I actually really do like it.
It's nice and simple.
Yeah. The red pop's nice on it as well, on the sleeves.
Yeah.
The logos, they seem a bit too close together. To be fair, all the logos, but
and I've heard their fans are not happy the fact that it's got blue on it, and blue being Everton colours. But it's like
totally different shade of blue. Get a grip.
And it's like the shirt's white. It's not like they're coming out with like a royal blue shirt.
When Arsenal had that white kit, the Chapman one, which I think was really nice, but a lot of people still look at that as like a dark spot in our kit history. We don't wear white. We don't wear white.
The red current.
I thought it was really nice.
Really upset. You know, a couple of times in the last season they've worn red shorts instead of white because of whatever reason.
I think they're nice.
I really like the red shorts of the Arsenal shirt.
Special, but I prefer the white. Don't get me wrong, but I do like it as well.
I miss us having the hoop socks.
Yeah, I like hoop.
And then Liverpool have released a third shirt as well, which is dark grey, black and teal. There you go, that's the colour you guys are after, not turquoise, it's teal.
Teal.
Mint
green.
I'm not a fan of
Aquafresh
of that style, but
again, I think they've kept it quite simple.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think this will probably be a shirt that's worn, I feel, a lot more in the league, because there's
a lot of red and white.
And
there's a lot of red and white.
That for me that's one of the stupid things. Like if your colour, predominantly teams are going to wear red, white, or blue mainly in the league. Yeah. It's like
quite a lot of claret and blue these days, especially Villa coming back up.
Burnley,
and then obviously Norwich have to add that bit of colour with
yellow and green. The Canaries.
So carrying on with Liverpool. We go with the Liverpool goalkeeper shirt for the season. It's
what they've shown it off as a short sleeve.
Yeah, I suppose it's because the style of Alisson prefers wearing a short sleeve. I know when Fabian Barthez signed for Man United, he was historically short sleeves. And that was the first year I remember that short sleeve goalkeeper shirts are actually released for us as well.
I think they just look weird, don't they?
Yeah,
I really like this kit though, but I think
black and gold is very nice.
Third kit, I don't think it should be a keeper's kit.
That's the thing. Yeah,
it does look like that.
Because keepers kits are the wild ones, right? They are like all the weird patterns and stuff.
Yeah, it's smart, but yeah.
The goalkeeper way is.
So the green one, that green one is like more what you'd expect.
And it's just literally a plain.
It's too bright though.
It's a bit fruity.
Yeah.
I like green. I like green keeper kits, but I like the kind of dark green.
Turf green rather than neon green.
That's the one,
yeah. And Man City.
So then we go.
What have you done?
Purple.
The Premier League champions.
Mind you, their away kit was purple.
Yeah, I feel like they have purple in there.
Well, it says 125 years, so I'm guessing. I don't recall even seeing the earliest kits. Yeah, I guess not. But purple must have been part of their original colours.
Yeah, I feel like it was. Yeah.
Fair enough if that is the case. I just don't think it looks nice.
To be fair,
that
shirt literally smacks to me of a Burnley away shirt from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think it might be.
It literally does look like a Burnley away shirt. Just slapped a Man City logo.
They copied our red current kit pretty much. That looked like the same sort of a final hybrid one that you touched on earlier. So I feel like City just look at other kits and go, that one will do. Can we put our badge on that?
Do you know what? I really like purple as a colour, right?
All right.
Syria. No, I'm not going to be controversial. I think it looks horrible. I like purple as a colour. Like my Serie A team's Fiorentina, but that's horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't work there.
It's not nice. I'm not a fan of any of the City kits.
Yeah, the third kit especially.
It looks like a packet of bloody opal fruits, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's Starburst to all you
younger people. Date ourselves, guys.
Opal fruits. Should be talking about marathon
bars.
I remember them. I do.
Mate.
That looks like they took that Arsenal kit, the black with the pink.
Yeah.
But
so they've just
got
Sorry, get it right. It's black with peach It's not pink. It's
so if they just got
it as peach.
This year, right? They were knights before.
Yeah,
right?
they were knights.
I believe so. Yeah.
So bad start for Puma. I know Puma. Some Arsenal fans, for example, were a bit hit and miss about. I really liked some of the Puma kits, and I just didn't really like some of the others. So, it's a bit of a bad start here.
The third one. I mean, if
actually, it doesn't look like April fruits or Starburst. It actually looks like a packet of fruit salads. And not in a good way where I want to eat it.
Anytime I see this fruit salad wrapper, my mouth waters.
And I've heard
my mouth does not water.
Apparently, this is described as predominantly fizzy yellow.
Oh, my mouth.
What is it? A bloody dip dab or?
Probably.
This anniversary kit though.
Thing is, if they modelled their home kit off that, the anniversary kit's going to be like, I think that's actually a much better kit.
Yeah, I really like that.
It's sort of like a throwback to like the 80s or whatever. Like,
it's kind of similar to what you've got there.
Why would they kind of not just release that like that? To be fair,
even with the sponsors,
that looks a lot nicer. If you just literally shove a Puma logo and an Etihad logo on
that looks like retro, really good.
That'd be so nice.
Looks like it's 50.
Yeah, I'd imagine most fans would opt to get that shirt rather than the actual official home one.
I think that's what we're going to see a lot of fans probably do that. Then, okay, so now the Man United shirt.
We've got a model right here.
It's modelled by yours truly.
Yeah,
it is a lovely red number. As per usual.
You got these little hexagons on it.
It's gone with like a little black and gold badge.
I'm gonna level with you. I'm not sure about the black and gold badge.
I really like the badge,
but it's not the club badge.
I know, but sometimes it works.
The way they're going with it, they're going with.
If you won the Premier League last year, it'd be brilliant. But you
didn't.
Not use winning would be brilliant, but it would be brilliant kit anyway.
And I think that they're going with the style of the 99 Champions League kit, which ironically looks nothing like this.
Okay, so here's
the fact of the badge was actually on a silvery white background rather than black. The little
one of your away kits look like that though. I mean, not the colours.
Similar.
But when you had the black away kit, you had the badge look like that. I think it might have been silver as well though.
Yeah, very similar.
I remember that. Yeah.
You've had some good kits in the past.
And then we've got.
You've got in the sleeve there, mate.
Little touches to 99. You got 90 plus 1, 90 plus 3.
Okay.
In a year
obviously for the 2 minutes of injury time that there was.
In a year where United on the Champions League.
Right. As much as I think this kit is really nice, it's kind of an insult to Man United fans. I feel. We're going. Hey, remember when we were really good?
That's the thing.
You're going literally look. Like when Arsenal celebrated the 89 thing 20th anniversary with a night kit that was kind of somewhat similar, at least in colours. But we were doing alright. We did alright that season and the season before. But this one, it's a hard time. You're literally going, hey, remember Fergie time? Remember Ferguson?
Yeah,
remember winning the treble
with Fergie?
Now it's been 6 years.
To be fair, I suppose it's been 20 years since that happened, 20 years and it's like. I mean, because we'll obviously touch on it, but I know the new West Ham one is a sort of a throwback or a look at when we last won something. But I don't know. I feel like it's subtle enough as a tribute to it that it's not too bad.
Yeah, but they're releasing it saying that's what it is, though. That's the problem.
The thing is, I like the shade of red on it, and again, I
nice.
like the fact that the Adidas stripes aren't too ostentatious. So I just wish they'd gone with the original badge.
And I like the fact as well that we're going back to the traditional white shorts, black socks. I mean, we saw it there was the 99 Legends game, which, it showed off the kit really nicely there. And
Beckham looked good in it.
David Beckham, to be fair, you could literally stick David Beckham in anything and he'd look good.
All right, ladies, put your handbags
away. Beautiful man. Hey, check out his favourite pie and mash shop on the Pie and Mash Off, by the way. We'll put that in there.
Yeah, Scott took a trip down to Tony's.
There
we go, in Wolverhampton.
To meet Bex's mate.
Didn't he do an interview with him as well?
Who?
Tony.
Yeah.
Spoke to Tony's mate Tony.
Big Tony.
So I'm hungry now.
Our away shirt.
It's Butters.
That's hideous.
I think you're being kind with Butters.
Am I allowed to swear?
Whoa, guys, from what has been going on with your club lately, Dan, do you really want people in snakeskin? When all the thing is, snake, Pogba the snake, Sanchez the snake.
The thing is,
I don't see how they can call it a brownish green colour though.
No, they've called it linen. which is a brownish green colour.
Yeah, it just looks.
Linen's like a beigey colour.
Yeah, no, it just looks
Linen's a
grim.
material.
But then you look at the third
you.
kit. Like the third kit would work so much better as an away shirt. I feel.
I mean,
like.
the third kit's very similar to
I don't
the
like
one
the
that
orange on it though.
The orange is a bit weird, yeah, but
Yeah,
like.
See,
If that was red,
It's saying it is bright red.
white.
It says bright red
It's
logo.
bright red, it looks orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Alright, fair enough, it might not be too.
But yeah, like that away one's that's one of the worst ones.
It's
Yeah, I mean,
hideous.
it
It's
is very-
absolutely hideous.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's very similar to one that we had a couple of years back.
Yeah.
I was
Which-
going to say, you've had a lot of weird away kits in the past.
Yeah, our
few years.
away kits have been very
Controversial.
strange, actually. The goalkeeper shirt. Now, I just want to quickly touch on something. Now, obviously, it's the same. We've said it's the same as Leicester with the traditional, like just the normal Adidas standard template. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Now they're going for the 99 thing. What colour did Peter Schmeichel wear in 1999?
Green, wasn't it?
Green.
Beautiful green kit as well.
What colour did Peter Schmeichel wear in 1996-97? Purple.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do a tribute kit, at least get it right. Come
Get the
on.
colour right, yeah.
Quite like
You know, it's like it's one of
You
the.
don't made your point for purple.
I'll put it out there. I quite like it.
Right. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think it's too bad, yeah.
I will be buying that shirt.
You're going to buy the linen snakeskin one though as well. Who
Yeah,
are you kidding? You're
you
going to
do.
buy them all
I'll
down.
buy the
whatever you
linen
like.
snakeskin extra tight so it looks like.
Just rolling.
To be
about
fair, with
like
my skin colour,
mate.
it probably will go
Yeah.
like just blend in.
Oh.
But you know, I don't really like the pink on it, if I'm being honest.
It
And
does look more pink though. Is it supposed to be purple?
it's
'Cause it looks very
purple,
pink.
but
Like the logo at least. The
The
badge.
logo's pink, I think. and
when
the
we
rest
use
is
our cup printing on the shirt,
Yeah.
that's pink on the goalkeeper shirt.
I think you guys have one of the worst sponsors as far as integrating it into a kit style. That
Yeah, you
big
can't
gold
really
thing.
change,
Just a Chevrolet in white, like our Fly Emirates. You know, it's
Yeah.
just in white. It's fine. You know, but where you've got that gold, like some kits, it doesn't work too bad there as well because you've got the gold here. It's a different
Yeah.
kind of shade of gold, but it don't work too bad.
bad, isn't it?
But in in other kits, you're really bringing that word back, aren't you?
happen.
Butters fam, innit?
All right, moving on.
Oh wow.
So Newcastle. Now, obviously
Talking of
Newcastle.
Sports Direct, mate, that looks like it comes straight out
We
of
know-
bargain bin Sports Direct.
We know traditionally Newcastle black and white stripes. They've
Yeah.
had moments where they've gone smaller stripes, thinner stripes,
yeah, and
thicker stripes.
a lot of black with a little bit of stripes,
Whereas
and this is
This,
awful.
I mean,
Okay,
I
but
suppose
this-
it's going to be
Awful.
interesting to see what they do with the back of it because sometimes they've had like just plain black
yeah.
on the back or plain white on the back.
Yeah. You know, if it weren't a Newcastle kit, I don't think it'd be that bad. I think around a badge. No, I'm not saying I hate Newcastle. I'm just saying because
You are,
Newcastle
that's
should
who
be
said
just
it.
stripes.
You
I
heard
think
it
that's the
first.
thing.
Scott hates
if
Newcastle.
you have stripes or hoops, it's hard to have a different
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of. Do you know what I mean? Without ruining it. But I think the white, the stroke to use Photoshop terms, around the Newcastle badge is too much.
Yeah.
I don't like it being smack bang in the
And
middle.
the blue,
I'm
and
not
the
a fan
blue
of that.
sponsor. What the heck?
The sponsors the sponsor spoils that shirt. I mean, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, the shirt's not fantastic.
You know, if that was,
I feel like this might be one though that looks better within the rest of the kit. If that makes sense. So like if
What do you
the-
mean?
With the
with
shorts
the shorts and
and
socks,
stuff,
I
on
feel
a
like it might
human
work.
I mean, if the
being.
sponsor
it
wasn't
might work a
blue,
bit better. But
and
the
you put
blue,
it-
yeah.
and you put them either side, and the
That's-
sponsor was like black and
yeah.
white, I think it'd be alright.
Yeah.
It's not even a big stripes that I don't like. It's
For me, it's the badge
Everything.
placement. Is a
I
bit,
always
yeah,
think
it's
as well,
weird.
Newcastle, to me, they're traditionally like a lot of like black and white. stuff.
Yeah.
Like I used to love, and I know I hark back onto that same year, like 95, 96 style, where they had the Adidas ones that just
Yeah.
literally had the word Adidas written on the shirt,
Yeah,
and then
that
they
was
had the
nice.
big like Newcastle Brownell logo in
yeah,
the
and that
middle.
worked obviously being
That was
from
amazing. That was an amazing shirt. And
Yeah.
then,
yeah.
you know, the little button-up collar that they had with it.
I
Really
like a
classy,
button-up
yeah.
collar.
I think that was the that may have been this season.
bloody love
before-
it. Is that one?
Yeah, that's that season, and then they
How was
also
that
wore
meant
it.
to be?
I'd love it if we beat them.
I bloody.
There we go.
Oh.
And then the season after, they actually wore it again. Like you don't really see it very often, but the season
Yeah,
after,
yeah.
it was ironically when Schmeichel was wearing that purple, and when Philip Albert decided he was just going to like stick
Oh,
the
he
ball
just
straight
did it.
over his
Yeah,
head.
good times.
When we got done 5-0 there, but yeah, we'll probably do that. again this
The
season.
away shirt.
Hideous.
what
Away
is
shirt
going on?
is essentially
I
like
quite like it.
it's essentially like a child has had too many tangerines and just puked up over a shirt.
Yeah, 2 tangerine references here.
Yeah.
I quite like it. I like orange as a colour. It's not
just because you
bright.
like the colour.
No, but it's not too bright. It's more of a muted burnt orange.
Okay.
I've got an armchair that matches that in my living room.
Newcastle's third shirt.
I really like it.
I
really like it. The colour is actually really nice, like the green and that.
I believe it's a teal, actually.
No, teal's more light green, isn't it?
Have you not learned anything of this colour lesson?
I was going to say, I generally think most of the third kits work better as away kits, like from
to be fair,
teams.
Like some of them, a lot of the third kits are nicer than the actual.
It's like they're trying to make third kits look cool, so that in the future they like away is like you're going to get the away anyway.
Yeah.
Like so, they're probably trying to boost up the third, and then eventually they're convincing us all, man. It's all part of a big story to be like, I need every kit.
Yeah. So I remember there was a couple of years ago when Southampton had their red and white striped home shirt, and then they had, I think their away shirt was black.
Right.
And then they played against Bournemouth, and they didn't have a third shirt.
Yeah.
So they literally had to go to whoever their kit maker was at the time. I believe it was Under Armour, and just be like, "We need a shirt," and they just gave them, okay, there's a plain white shirt, bit of red on it. Red shorts. They didn't even have it on sale in their shop, and then they put it on sale literally straight after the game.
Wow.
It's
amazing.
Like, surely you know that there's going to be a team in the league that you're not going to be able to wear your shirt against. So another team that are coming up to the Premier League this season is Norwich. Now they had a really lovely kit last season, the classic yellow with the green and white on it, and for this season, the kit that they're going with is going to be, I guess, pretty much the same. It's going to be yellow. Splash of green, maybe a splash of white somewhere.
We ain't seen it, and it's a shame.
We've not seen it.
I like Norwich kits. I want to be able to talk about it properly,
but you'll be able to see it in the image right now. And so, what do we actually think about this Norwich City kit for this season?
Norwich home shirt. Yeah, I actually do. I like the way that it fades yellow into green. You know, I think it works really well, and the fact that it goes from the yellow into the green and then into the green shorts as well, I think it does look very, very nice, actually.
I quite like that gradient look, actually. Green and yellow is always quite a distinctive look anyway, but I like it.
It's tricky for me because I've never really been a big fan of like the colours of Norwich. Like, I just think yellow and green look a bit grim together, but like it's. To be fair, I don't think it's that bad of a kit, actually. The way the yellow sort of blends into the green towards the bottom of the shirt and on the sleeve and stuff actually looks quite nice. So yeah, one of the better Norwich kits I've seen over recent years.
Really like it. Reminds me of the early 2000s, but the top's in a little bit of a tacky way. But I do like the gradient. It's just not as good as previous Norwich kits.
So the Norwich away shirt, to me, it just looks like a Wales shirt that someone's just shoved the Norwich badge on. Yeah, the red and yellow, it does look more like an international kit to me, but yeah, it's all right, but you know, nothing overly special.
Okay, so the Norwich away kit, red, bit unusual, don't mind the pattern on the arms, but I don't know, something doesn't quite sit right, it just looks a bit like a tacky sweet wrapper.
Weird for them, going with a red kit, but I think it looks all right, actually. Sort of first time I saw it, I thought it was a bit naff, but no, second and third time definitely thought it was a lot better. So yeah, I think if I was a Norwich fan, I'd be happy with that one, definitely.
Yeah, not really a fan. I mean, as much as the red and yellow looks like Hulkamania is running wild, it's it's not great. It doesn't really suit Norwich either, I don't think.
Okay, I'm running out crazy.
Norwich third, grey. It's an interesting shirt with a collar on. Looks like it's got a black collar on it. You know, we know ourselves, we've had a well-documented history of being very dodgy in grey shirts. So, you know, Norwich could struggle picking each other out, changing to the red shirts at half-time, but only time will tell. Overall, decent shirt.
Nothing really to write home about. Boring grey.
Big fan of Norwich's third kit. I think the grey with the black collar looks awesome. I think I've said before, I'm a real big fan of those sort of like darker coloured kits. To be honest, I think it'd be a lot better if that was their away shirt for this season. Because if it's their third one, you're probably not going to see it as much, unfortunately. But yeah, really big fan of it. I think it looks really smart. If I was a Norwich fan, that's the shirt I'd be buying for the season. So yeah, really, really big fan of that one.
I quite like this one. It's nice and plain, quite smart. I probably wouldn't have gone with grey myself, but it's not too bad. I like the little bit of pattern going on as well. It's an alright kit.
As we've seen so far, the promoted clubs to the Premier League have not yet released any images of their kits. We've not had any, you know...
Time of recording and all that.
Yeah, we've not had...
Top secret.
we've not had any indication as to what they're going to be, but Sheffield United are returning to the Premiership. You know, we don't know whether they're going to go with a plain red kit, whether they're going to go with whether they're going to go with the red and white stripes, plain red. Who knows? It's going to be very interesting to see what their kit's going to be like. So, as you're going to see, the Sheffield United kit will appear right here. What do you guys think of it?
Sheffield United home shirt. Now, I've actually got to say I am really do like this shirt. You know, it's everything I like in a football shirt, really. It's an Adidas shirt. It looks classic, and the sponsor actually fits with the shirt. It's the same colours, and yeah, it just looks a very classy shirt. It's a pity that people are going to see it in somewhat of like a relegation battle this season, but yeah, it's a very nice shirt.
Classic Sheffield shirt, quite like it. Adidas seem to have really come good with a lot of the kits this year. Obviously it's not as good as the Arsenal one, but still pretty decent.
It's actually really nice. Again, it's that really sort of simple. It's in keeping with what the club colours usually are. Quite like the black on the shoulders as well. Yeah, like this is a really nice sort of simple, classy shirt. I like it.
Right, this is actually a really nice kit. If you look closely, you might notice the zigzag effect on the edges of the stripes, which is really nice. It kind of makes it look like a scarf, actually, which I'm sure it's not that kind of material. It just kind of looks that way, which I think is quite unique because you don't usually see that in the blocky bar kind of kits. It's an interesting take on that. The sponsor is probably the one that works most well in the Premier League, actually. It just looks really nice. The colours, the black, the red and the white, obviously Sheffield United colours. Just not sure about the stripes on the top being on that big blocky red part. Maybe the red shouldn't be as big. I'm not too sure on that, but other than that, it's a really solid kit.
Sheffield United's away shirt, it looks very similar to the home shirt. It's just without the red stripes on it, essentially. Yeah, there's nothing really to dislike about it, I guess, but it always surprises me when you've got a team that are wearing like red and white stripes, why they would have a predominantly white away shirt. I'm thinking maybe like their third shirt should really have been what their away shirt is.
Again, pretty standard, pretty classic, a little bit like the Villa home and away kits and the Norwich ones. They've sort of kept an element of the home colours in there, nice and simple. I think the sponsor logo is a little bit big, but that seems to be the trend at the moment.
I really like this one. I think it's really nice. It's just a white shirt with a sort of red on the collar, but it just looks real classy, I think, from Sheffield United. And I really like away kits like that, where it's not too, it's not too out there with the colours and stuff. It's just a nice, simple away shirt. So yeah, good job by Sheffield United on that one.
Again, really nice. Sheffield United doing well here with their away. The white looks really nice. The red collar at the top looks cool. Obviously, again, the sponsors work really well. The dots, the little dotted pattern on it, really nice. I really do like it.
The Sheffield United third shirt, design wise, it's a little bit like the Adidas goalkeeper shirts from last season. Yeah, Sheffield United in that colour, it reminds me of back in the day with them. I believe it was the match at Highbury against Arsenal when they had the famous incident where I think they threw it back to the goalkeeper and one of the players went through and scored. I remember them wearing a kit very similar to that, fluorescent yellow number. I actually do think it does pop quite nicely with the red as well. So yeah, actually I like every single one of their kits, actually. It's quite nice.
Again, they seem to have gone for the day glow 90s rave look that seems to be incredibly popular. I don't know if the Premier League's been sponsored by Ray-Bans and they're trying to put the sales up of that, but a bit disappointing from Adidas, that one, actually.
So the Sheffield United third shirt is kind of what I don't like about non-home shirts, really. It's a really disgusting, again, it's that sort of steward colour, isn't it? Like that sort of light, really luminous yellowy green, and it's just a bit disgusting, really. So hopefully we'll see him more in the sort of white away kit this year rather than this monstrosity.
Other than the pattern looking quite nice, I mean, can we just get rid of neon kits in the Premier League? They're awful.
I love it if my reaction is like, I love it, but my face is like,
I'm just not sure about it.
Southampton, another kit, I
That's
suppose.
dire.
Yeah,
Absolutely dire.
I've got to say,
I don't like this blocking at the top.
It works for the away shirt, but
they're probably there.
Away and third are really nice.
Yeah.
It's a good I think if you're going to use a template, using it throughout the kits is quite nice.
But it just doesn't work with
I
that.
think, the home kit doesn't
Hideous.
work at all. I think because the home shirt's striped, it doesn't work.
Do you not think that even if that black part was white, it might have, or even red?
Yeah, maybe.
The fact it's
It
black
would have been
is
a bit
so
better,
jarring.
He looks a bit like he's wearing a strapless top with a
Yeah.
bolero over
Yeah,
the
or you
top,
know those.
and I'm just not sure
those
about
things
that.
they
As a
wear
look.
in training. Those.
They
like
look a bit like the
tight
sports bras,
ones.
don't they?
Yeah,
And they've got all
it looks
the-
like that.
Oh, the one where they have like the stat thing on it. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up here, and then they've got the little.
Yeah, it looks
pattern
like
in the back.
he's wearing one of them.
I'm just not sure about it. The sponsor logo's far
Sponsor's
too
horrible.
big.
They're
I do like
weird
the
colours
banding on the
that.
sleeves,
Yeah.
though. I think
Yeah, that's the best
quite
part about
nice.
the whole kit.
And
Even the
then
Virgin logo works.
Yeah,
'cause
the
they're
Virgin
colours
Media
for it.
logo. I think the
Yeah.
Virgin logo should literally have just been on the front, but I suppose that's
Yeah, but that's a different deal for
Yeah, I mean the
I
away.
like the away one.
The away and
one,
third are really nice.
Right.
Dark grey and yellow.
Still the sponsors, blues a bit
Yeah.
weird for it, but hey, you got some contracts are just too hard to
Yeah.
negotiate.
And then
but-
obviously they've learnt their lesson with.
That's a really nice.
Third
That's
one.
actually a really nice shirt.
I think it is really, really nice actually. As you say, the same template, but
the
white.
blue works
and
better
then-
on that.
Did you
Mate.
see the kit reveal video that they did on their Twitter? So do you know the Fire Festival documentary that came
Oh
out?
yeah.
They did like a kit reveal. It was like meant to be a trailer mimicking the Fire Festival documentary. It's really
Weird,
cringy
though,
and
isn't
like
it doesn't really
Weird.
it's
cross
yeah.
over, does
Generally,
it?
it's just a cringy kit reveal video, and it's just like I don't know who signed off on that, but
And I think out of all of them, their goalkeeper shirt's probably the nicest one.
It's
that
lovely.
is a really
It is
nice
nice.
one.
I'm not
To be
usually
fair,
a fan
like
of the sky
that-
blue, but
That would look
Simple.
well as a Manchester City kit.
Yeah.
That looks nice as and
I
they're
like the little kind of neckline thing.
The
Yeah.
neck thing looks like something out of like the templates on Pro Evo, like those
Yeah,
kinda,
yeah.
But
I think-
like
where they're different as well is the fact that they're the only team in the league that have Under Armour as their kit maker. So you're always going to see kind of a different
there'll
kit
be
from
different
them.
templates. I've never really liked Under Armour.
Spurs have them for a while.
Yeah, that's probably why.
That's probably why I don't like. Yeah, no.
And the other one, so they've got that, and then you got the dark pink, like the raspberry pinkish colour, which is quite
Pink.
yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Obviously, wouldn't work too well with their red home shirt, but anyway. Then we move on to the Champions League runners-up for this season in a nice tribute to Paris Saint-Germain's third kit.
Tribute to another team. That's kind of Tottenham, though.
Dark
isn't it?
blue, white.
No one had that relationship with Real
purple.
Madrid. Tried to act like they weren't a feeder club. Oh, like we'll help each other out. Yeah, cool, man. Like give us Bale and Modric. That's all right.
You
Yeah.
can have
What do we
You
get?
can have Rafa van der Vaart like the arse end of his career.
So yeah, it's nice to see they've clearly got a joint relationship with PSG as well now.
Do you think
And
they're
they are
hoping
now
to
the
sign
feeder team,
Kylian
so-
Mbappe?
Yeah.
Killing Mbappe.
Yeah. USA
To be
Soccer
fair, I
logos
like
are
on
yeah.
the third kit the use of the classic night logo.
Yeah, I do like that.
The colours ain't too bad. The
Same-
home kit's pretty
And it's
same old, really,
inspired
innit?
by
Like-
their new stadium as well. So it's obviously not going to be released until the last week of the season.
nothing to say about Spurs for me.
Yeah, not much. It's just pretty generic.
It's good because it's obviously
They'll never top the old 90s Holston Pills kits, will they?
Yeah,
Let's
to be
get
fair,
real.
like, as much as being an Arsenal fan, they've had some decent kits.
like with the Gaza ones.
The seatbelt one was the funniest one.
That was the funny one,
But
yeah.
the one, I think 2 years ago, them and Chelsea had a very similar template kit, which I hate, but both of them were really nice. Even the Tottenham, like even though it's Tottenham, I was like, that's a nice kit. Like it was kind of plain. The badge was nice and big, like in the shield, and I quite liked. I can't say that too much, but it was a decent kit. Watford's always hard.
Oh, do you know
Yeah,
what? I don't like this because it's
No.
not striped. They've kind of done what Juve have done. Like
Yeah.
they've gone for this 50-50 thing. It's
Yeah.
weird. I don't like
the
it.
Juve
Make
one
it stop.
either.
Yeah.
I don't like the
To me-
Juve having a pink thing in between it. It's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
think
not a
for
fan
me,
of Watford.
Watford was never really a club that wore stripes. I always
No.
thought. To
They've
me,
been black and yellow striped for a while, though.
black, yellow, and
Yeah.
red has always been the colour, but it just seems weird to have literally.
The half and half is
Half
cool
and
because
half,
it looks
right.
like their badge.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
but then
that's
one
fair point.
sleeve being black would be cool. Maybe.
Who do you think you are, Cruella de Vil?
yeah.
It's hard because they're three colours that don't always go together, like the red, black, and yellow. So I think they're always going to be kind
Black
of trapped
and yellow,
in like,
black and yellow.
what can you really do? So
Yeah.
exactly.
I suppose it gives out when John's had to write about, doesn't it? So
Well, yeah.
write a new song about.
Watford away, just no. I don't know what they're thinking with that. It just does not work. It looks absolutely horrendous.
I actually do quite like the navy blue. I think it works really well. You know, the Adidas kits are always very nice, and you know, I think it's a nice change from the green that they had last season. But yeah, overall it's a really nice kit.
Not really sure what to think about this one. It's an interesting choice of colour for Watford to go with. You see this quite a lot with clubs sort of trying to try different things with their away kits in recent years, but this one doesn't really work for me. It's just not. It's a bit boring. The colour, I don't think the colour's that great. Yeah, not the best away kit I've seen this season.
So again, pretty similar template for some of the other Adidas's. Here it doesn't work as well though, because the black actually just looks like sweat stains. So I reckon when they're playing on it, it's going to look the same. And as always, the sponsor looks a bit out of place really. But it's a nice collar, and the blue does work quite well.
So we now move on to West Ham. Now, I got to say, I really like it. It's,
I like it.
You know, historically, the light blue has normally been West Ham's away colours, and obviously the famous claret for their home shirts. Really nice kind of mix of the two styles. It's like a really nice mashed up version of it.
Well, it's meant to be a throwback, I think, to the 1980 season. I think maybe Arsenal in the FA Cup final.
Yeah, well, the away one is 100% there. Like, and I really like the away kit.
The away kit's the best one. I think my issue, I really like the shirt for the home one. I think my only issue is that it's claret shorts and claret socks. Wherever I'd rather it be like white shorts and maybe like blue socks or something.
I would have said
because people said switch them round and it looked better.
I think
those
so,
claret shorts on the white kit would look really nice as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they literally swapped it.
Yeah, I think the only criticism I have of the home kit is the Umbro logo being white. Actually, I would have put it in a darker blue or claret.
I thought you were going to say badge.
No, but even
the
like
badge
usually, because it kind of is moving away from tradition, I think it's a bit too much blue usually, but I actually still like it. I still think it's quite nice, but yeah, usually I'd be like, no, just like I think if I was a West Ham fan, I'd be like, no, it's moving too far away from tradition. There's too much blue on it.
The away shirt's definitely the best.
The away shirt's really
the best
nice.
one we've had.
And even your sleeve sponsor, a lot of the sleeve sponsors really bring down a club's kit.
I really, yeah.
Was that
sleeve
gold
sponsor
last season?
Bassett in gold, because Bassett in gold, we had that in gold on our previous show last year. But the year before it was like M&F tyres, I think. It was like this red square, which was really awful. But
it's alright, it will never be Angry Birds like Everton, so don't worry about that.
But I think what's really nice as well is that we've got the Boleyn Castle on the back of the back of the
especially because you've only recently changed your badge.
And I think that put a lot of people's noses up.
Yeah,
and also just because the new badge is generally terrible.
Yeah, it's really, it's too. I think it's too plain. I know they're trying to make it simplify it.
For me, it's the fact it says London. It's like I get it, but it's like we're in it. If it even said East London, that would have been a bit better because that's our identity.
Stratford.
There's your East London.
Badge,
but
I think East London would have worked really well because you're like, but
it's like we're not just London. It's like East London is what we are. But no, I think they've done well to try and capture some of that history.
And it looks a lot like their 1980, even though you guys beat Arsenal, I can still hold my hand.
And the goalkeeper kit is what it is.
And then, you've got the goalkeeper kit is essentially the exact same
one.
as Bournemouth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And finally, we can't do a Premier League roundup alphabetically without listing the team that come at the very bottom of the alphabetical Premier League spectrum.
That was a really good way to say it.
Boom!
It sounded like you were losing it there, but you
nailed
it. That was good. I was like, what is he? Yeah, okay.
Just don't ask him to repeat it.
Yeah.
Alphabetical Premier League.
Who is it?
And so the last team...
West Ham at the bottom, usually West Brom. Who's next?
Obviously, it's Sin Cara's favourite football team.
Oh, of course.
And that is Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are going to be playing Europa League football next season.
But we get them in our group.
Or we get solo masks. Those masks were cool. But
so Wolves' kits, it may be a play on the traditional kit where they had Doritos splattered across the front of their shirt.
I'm willing to bet there'll be a wolf on a badge.
Yeah, I reckon.
And it'll probably be some
I bet they changed
it.
it.
Like hexagonal shape or whatever it is.
Maybe like a little Portugal flag this season as well. Yeah. Maybe.
It's their B team. Well, they're prep for the Euros next year.
So we're going to see a little image now of Wolves' new kit right here. And guys, just tell me, what do you think of the new Wolves kit?
Well,
Wolverhampton Wanderers home shirt. The first thing really that I notice on this shirt is the fact that they've got the same sponsor as Crystal Palace. Yeah, the Man Bet logo. It's very big, especially with the writing that's on it as well. The Adidas stripes down the side of the shirt, I don't like that necessarily. I do prefer them classically on the sleeve. But yeah, I think overall it's quite a nice shirt.
Wolves home kit, classic. I mean, that's quite an iconic colour that they have there. It's not quite the same as the other kind of ambery yellow ones. Adidas, again, have come good, kept it simple and straightforward, and it works really well for them.
I really think it looks nice this year. I think in the past, Wolves have gone a bit sort of too shiny with the orange of their home kit, but in recent years their kits actually their colours have looked really, really nice, and with the black shorts and black and gold socks as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I think the sponsor's a bit weird, but apart from that, yeah, it looks really nice.
Okay, this one's quite nice. I'm not too sure about the stripes being on the side. Usually I don't mind them, but I think on this kit actually would have worked better on the shoulders. The dotted kind of pattern seems to intensify certain areas, so it gives off a nice kind of like mixed, almost gradient look, almost animal like, you could say. Who knows, like a wolf, except they're not really gold. But yeah, I really like this kit actually. A few tweaks here and there. I think it could be better. Again, the sponsor though way too big, and the sponsorship on the sleeve is huge. Can we please restrict it a bit more than that, the FA?
Wolves away shirt, it's actually very smart. It's a very smart shirt. It's, to me, one of those shirts that definitely would look better without the sponsor. I think the sponsor very much spoils that shirt. If they had none of like the stuff at the top, if they just had like ManBet X on the shirt, that would be just a lot better. It would have looked a lot crisper, a lot smoother.
I'm not massively a fan of black shirts, if I'm being totally honest. Again, it's quite standard, it's all right, it's nothing to write home about.
Big fan of this one. I think the black and gold look great together, and I actually quite like the white sort of lines going across the body and stuff. Yeah, really big fan of this one. It's probably one of my favourite away shirts from this year, or one of my favourite shirts in general from the Premier League this year, I think.
I'm not too sure about this one, just because I do like black kits usually. I think the black and gold look well together, but again, the sponsors look ridiculous, and I'm not too sure about the Adidas stripes going one way, and then the kind of diagonal stripes being way thinner and going another way. Just kind of clashes a bit too much.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know if you guys have got any other like kits that you want to give an honorary mention to. Obviously, we've covered the Premier League. Any that you've seen that you really like or dislike?
The Juve one's not all that.
Not a big fan of that pink stripe.
Yeah.
Anticipating Fiorentina will put a good one out. They usually do. They're quite classic each year.
Yeah, I'd say I love the fact that the women's kits to the World Cup are different to the actual kits.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I went and bought the England away.
Yeah, speaking of that, we've actually got
one here.
Here's
one we made.
Yeah, that's a great shirt.
We didn't make it.
Yeah, well, no, we didn't. But I really like it. I think it's better than our away. I liked our away one in the World Cup, but I think this one's even better. I really like the rose being implemented in it.
I like the red
and it's engineered for championship athletes.
There you go. And I like the red badge, even though we were saying earlier, like the change in the colours for the traditional badge. But I think it works really well.
And I think it's nice the fact that the women are getting their own shirts rather than like,
especially for a major tournament as well.
I think the women in English football have done so much, and if you look at the women's Premier or the women's Super League as it is, things like Arsenal ladies and the Everton ladies and the Doncaster Bells have really been at the forefront of women's football for so long.
Yeah. Is that one that we're going to be playing in next season?
Oh, you've made it up now.
We got promoted.
You finally got a women's team, mate. We've been dominating.
We did win a trophy this season. We won promotion as well as groundsman of the year.
And I think there's been a massive kick on women's football on the continent. Lyon have done particularly well in the Women's Champions League, so it's really good to see women's football getting the separate coverage.
You've also had the documentary, I think, with Jack Sullivan, who looks after the West Ham ladies. Like they've had like a 6-part documentary about them, and they've done really well this season.
Yeah, they've had a really good season.
Got to the cup final.
We're seeing the rise of a lot more female commentators and pundits on TV. Like Alex Scott has been.
Alex Scott's fantastic.
She wipes the floor with the rest of them. She really makes them look amateur.
Do you know what a lot of it is? Because she's an international footballer. She's been capped like numerous times for her country. It's not like, you've been in the men's game, you've done a little bit. It's like, so what? She's not been in the men's game.
And the thing is, she's played
a staple of women's football.
And the thing is, she's played football a lot more recently than the likes of like Graham Souness and this
sort of Robbie Savage.
So you think Graham Souness probably still thinks of knee-high tackles.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I think people compare like the women's game to unfairly because like they got held back massively by the FA when it was banned and stuff like that. Like with any kind of sport, like if you put a kind of part of it, even if it wasn't gender based and it was age based, like let's say the under 18s, you can play football until you're 18. The under 18 league wouldn't be that strong, you know. So I think the more time the women get, it's going to get better. Things like this, like football. To give them a wicked kit, shirt. You know. So I'm
even the home shirt's really nice actually. The home shirt's nicer than the men's one.
Little red bit on the sleeves and that. So yeah, that's my honourable mention.
And good luck to the Lionesses as well. Keep up the good work and. He's one of our own, Phil Neville,
with his 1992 frosted tips.
Hopefully, you'll do a bit better in management than your big brother did. But you know, less we say about that,
the better.
Before we get on out of here, and I give away another free pint. So, favourite and least favourite kits. We'll go from Mike round to me. So
I think
put you on the spot.
Least favourite, I think without doubt, is the Chelsea home shirt, just because
it's hideous.
It's just gross. The design doesn't make any sense. It just looks very lazily put together. Bit of a surprise. I mean, if I can't pick my own team, I would have picked the West Ham away shirt. But if I can't pick that, I actually would probably go for the Southampton white third kit. I think that's a really smart shirt, and I think it looks really good.
And Michelle?
My favourite was obviously the Arsenal home kit, but if I can't have that, I might go with the Leicester home kit. I really like the checkerboard design. Least favourite, absolutely hands down Chelsea. What are you doing? You haven't even got Hazard to try and like make it decent. Like, you know, no, just no.
My favourite non-Arsenal, of course, because I love the Arsenal home one. The away one's good, but I really like the home one. My favourite non-Arsenal would be the West Ham away shirt. Ironically, like I said earlier, beating us in the 1980 Cup final, it should really kind of hit me, but I'm still just like, I really like it. I actually watched the not a reveal video, but the video they did, like them watching like a Gogglebox thing.
Oh, that's great.
Former players that played in that final. It's really cool to see those players like learn about the people like Fabianski's in it. Yeah, Declan Rice, and like it's really good.
You got like Trevor Brook in there as well and stuff.
Yeah, so it was really cool. But anyway, I really like that kit, and I like that it's a good way to honour your past, basically, without being thing with it. Secondly, I would have probably said the United kit's really nice as well. My least favourite is probably the Man City home shirt. I just really don't get the purple. I mean, again, like if it's your heritage and that, I understand that. Again, I'm massive on tradition and stuff, but the fact is, I don't think it looks nice at all. I think these colours clash massively, and yeah.
So for me, this is going to come a little bit out of left field. Actually, I actually really like the Newcastle third shirt. The really dark green colour. I just think it's I really do like really dark green shirts, and I think
and the kind of pattern at the top of it is really nice. So
I always do feel Newcastle churn out sometimes good away,
except for the first,
away shirts. So I think I'd go for that one. Obviously, if I can't pick the Man United first home shirt. I can't pick my team for either one actually, because the Man United away shirt is awful. I'm surprised none of you have actually come out with that. But awful, the only thing I think that's worse than that is the Man City third shirt, which is the monstrous yellowy pink
Starburst shirt. Oh, the fruit salad shirt.
Opal fruit shirt. Starburst Frutella style kit, which. To be fair, they're probably going to bang a few goals in and probably lift another trophy in at the end of the season. So I guess that's it for the main show. I mean, there's obviously one more piece of housekeeping we have to do before we get on out of here, and that is for me to give one of these dehydrated people an extra drink. The others are going to have to just deal with it and die at first. So we now get to the part of the show where I give one of these guys the opportunity to lift a trophy. A trophy that is full of beer, essentially. And on the subject of lifting trophies, we saw in May outgoing Manchester City captain Vincent Kompany lifting the Premier League trophy. And that's what I'm going to tie my question into today. So, Vincent Kompany, Man City's winning captain, famously wore the number 4 shirt for Manchester City.
I was going to go, he wore 5! I'm glad that wasn't.
But what I want to know is, other than Kompany, how many other Premier League winning captains have worn number 4?
Oh.
Was it 1, 2, 3 or 4?
Oh.
Scott?
I'm just going to say 2. I know Vieira wore 4 and he won, so surely one else.
No, it's not 2.
How many did you say? 2?
1, 2, 3 or 4.
You went for 2?
Yeah.
Is it 1?
No. Means you actually get a 50-50 shot of winning
this. If not, we're moving to another
3.
question.
It's the last day of the season. She's finally won one.
Oh!
It's 3.
I feel happy. Who are they?
And the 3 were
Patrick Vieira.
in Patrick Vieira, Steve Bruce, and Tim Sherwood.
Oh,
that's why I did, yeah.
Tim Sherwood. Always letting us
Tim
down.
Sherwood.
Oh, well, anyway. Congratulations.
There you go, finally.
Victory is so sweet.
Yeah, see, other ones were going to be. The other one was going to be like, who is the only person that's lifted more than Kompany? Is it Keane, Adams, Neville, or Terry?
Would be Kane, surely.
No,
No,
JT
Adams.
with 5. So there you have it. We have given our thoughts on the brand new kits for this season. Michelle has finally got a question right on this show. She's won the pint. Granted, she did have a little bit of help with the 2 boys getting it wrong.
I still could have got it wrong.
Down to us being crap rather than you being
I'm not going to lie to you, I sort of hedged my bets and went, if I let them go first and they get it wrong.
Tactical, I like it. You deserve, man. That's like master plan.
Because
Right?
you know what,
It's
every
like
time
earning
I've got it
radio
wrong,
now.
it's because I've jumped in too quickly with an answer.
I get you. I get you.
I've got a strategy now.
So yeah, that's it for us for this, well, I guess you could say first episode of 2019-2020, where we've reviewed the kits. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the usual places that you would find videos. Obviously there's YouTube as well, which is probably the biggest one. Click subscribe, like, tweet, whatever it is, yeah. So anyway, that's us for this episode, but we'll be back soon. So until then, keep hanging.
It's not going to be me, I never win either. We'll alarm themselves.
It's 3. That's us for this episode. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys. Well, cheers to you.
Oh.